शुक्लांबरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणि विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। कठोपनिषद अध्याय 1 वल्ली 3 मंत्र 5 मंत्र 14। उत्तिष्ठत जाग्रत प्राप्य वरान् निबोधत क्षुरस्य धारा निशिता दुरत्यया दुर्गम पथस्तत् कवयो वदन्ति। This is a very popular mantra. One person who made it very popular was Swami Vivekananda. Arise, awake, stop not till the goal is reached. A part of the statement is from this mantra. Uttishtata Jagrata. That is how the first half became popular. And the second half became popular because of an English novelist. You know his name? Somerset Maugham. He wrote a book, The Razor's Edge. I don't know whether you have read the book, Razor's Edge. And it became a movie also. Not even once, 3 times they made a movie based on Razor's Edge. And in a novel, it is based on Vedanta. How a Westerner leaves everything and comes to India and finds the Atma Jnana. So that is the novel about. It's quite interesting. The title of the novel, Razor's Edge, is based on the second half of this mantra. Therefore, it is a popular mantra. Most popular in Kathopanishad. This is a call to turn towards Atmajnana. Uttishtata literally means stand up, arise. Bhashyakara says, the Shruti intends to say, Atmajnana bhimukha bhavata. Turn towards Atmajnana. Seek Atmajnana. Awake, Jagrata, wake up, means get rid of the Ajnana. The Upanishad compares Ajnana to sleep. The sleep of Ajnana. Wake up from the sleep of Ajnana. How it can be accomplished? Prapya varan nibodhata. Varan prapya. To be free from Ajnana, one has to go to an Acharya. In Mundakopanishad, we have a statement. Tad vijnanartham sa gurumeva bhigachet samitpanishrotriyam brahmanishtham. People keep asking, is a guru is needed for Atmajnana? Or can we get the Atmajnana by ourselves? Many people keep asking this question. Then we have to quote from the Upanishad. What is the Shruti Pramana to say that Guru is needed? One is from Mundakopanishad. Tad vijnanartham sa gurumeva bhigachet. Then if you want a quote from Kathopanishad, it is here. Prapya varan nibodhata. Kathopanishad also says, Guru is needed. Not just Mundakopanishad. And so are other Upanishads. Even Chandogya Upanishad says, Acharyavan Purusho Veda. So, Prapya Varan. Varan means Prakrishtan Acharyan. The Acharya, one who teaches Atmajnana. Prapya, approaching him. One has to approach an Acharya. Not YouTube Prapya. Not internet Prapya. Varan Prapya. Nibodhata. Understand. Get the knowledge. This is the first line. The second half talks about the difficulty of Atmajnana. How difficult it is to attain Atmajnana. Kshurasya dhara nishita duratyaya. Yatha kshurasya nishita dhara duratyaya. Kshurasya. Kshura means a razor. Kshurasya dhara. Dhara means edge. The razor's edge. It is the title of the novel. You can read it during the holidays or after the course, whenever. Kshurasya Nishita Dhara. The sharpened edge of an razor. Duratyaya. It is difficult to walk over. Tatha tatpathaha durgam kavayaha vadanti. Tatha, likewise, tatpathaha, the path of Atmajnana, the pursuit of Atmajnana, it is also durgam, difficult to walk on, difficult to pursue. Always there is a chance of falling down, slipping from the path of Atmajnana, if one is not watchful. Because there are so many distractions. So many obstacles. At any time, one can get distracted. Even when one stays in the ashrama, one can get distracted. There are so many temptations. The temptations come on the way. Our senses pull us away from Atmajnana. The mind pulls us away from Atmajnana. In the meantime, even if one is not attracted by the senses or the mind, there are possibilities of getting confused, because there are so many different divergent views. One can get confused also, because we are exposed to so many ways of understandings, so many ways of thinkings. One can easily get confused also. And the confusion can last for a lifetime. It is not easy to come out if one is not careful. Therefore, the pursuit of Atmajnana is infested with various forms of obstacles, varieties of obstacles. Therefore, Durgam Pathaha, the pursuit is difficult. The Shruti does not intend to discourage. Instead, the Shruti is encouraging. That is why the first line is Uttishtata, stand up. Give up the slumber of ignorance and stand up and work for Atmajnana. It needs effort. One has to make effort for Atmajnana. It is not possible without effort. One has to work wholeheartedly. It is not possible to get Atmajnana if one is half-hearted. When I have time, I don't have anything else to do, then I will pursue a little of Atmajnana. It won't work. It has to be one's priority in life. Not just for 3 years, for the lifetime. Dedicate oneself to Atmajnana. One has to dedicate oneself to the pursuit. That is when one can really find success. Therefore, Durgam Pathaha, the pursuit is difficult, requires special effort. It is not always inspiration. The pursuit of Atmajnana is not always inspiration. It involves perspiration also. Of course, there is inspiration, but more than inspiration, one should be ready to perspire. I will work only when I am inspired. It won't work. Today I am inspired to attend the class, so I will attend today. Then after a while the inspiration goes, perspiration starts. Then this person says, okay, now I will go somewhere for a holiday. I am inspired to go to Badrinath, Kedarnath. Then he returns again. Once again some inspiration. It doesn't work that way. We will see the Bhashya. So, the Sambandha we have seen. Yataha, Yataha, Tataha, Ataha, Tataha. Yataha is there, Bhavati Yataha. We have seen that portion yesterday. Since Atmajnana leads to great phala, swasthaha prashantatma kritakrityo bhavati. Because of Atmajnana, by means of Atmajnana, one becomes swasthaha, abides in one's own true nature. When you are in your true shape, you are called swasthaha. Otherwise you are aswasthaha. Any disease is aswastha. If someone is suffering from a disease, then he is generally called aswastha in the world. Why is it so? Because he is not in his true form, not in his original form. Generally he is strong, but now he is weak. He needs somebody's help. Aswasthaha. He has deviated from his true form. That is when we say aswastha. Then when he regains his health, his disease is removed. He has regained his original form, once again strong. Then we call him, he has become swastha. He has come back, he has returned to his true nature, true form. Likewise, because of ajnana, because of ignorance, we move away from our true self. We move away from our true nature, as it were, because of the identification with the anatma. The infinite becomes finite. The akarta and abhokta becomes karta and bhokta. The asamsari becomes a samsari. It is aswastha. And ajnani is aswastha. From the standpoint of Vedanta, every ajnani is aswastha. He is suffering from a disease called samsara. Samsara roga, bhava roga. And the roga is when you are moved away from your true self. It is disease. Aswastha. But with the jnana, when the anatma is resolved, nama-rupa is resolved, and you have returned to your true self, then you are swasthaha. A beautiful way of expressing moksha. Swasthaha. See, Bhashyakara tries to use various forms of descriptions to describe moksha. Moksha is swasthya. Being in your true nature is moksha. And when you are swasthaha, you are prashantatma. Your nature has become prashanta, free from all problems, free from all turbulences, free from all ashanti, free from all complaints. Means asamsari ityartha. You become asamsari. Swasthaha is prashantatma. And then you are kritakrityaha. You have accomplished what has to be accomplished. Since this is the phala of Atmajnana, yataha swasthaha kritakrityo swasthaha prashantatma kritakrityo bhavati. Ataha, because of that, therefore, to accomplish this result, the Upanishad says, uttisthata. Ataha, we will read. Ataha tad darshanartham anadya vidya prasuptaha uttisthata he jantavaha atmajnanabhimukha bhavata. Ataha, Therefore, taddarshanartham, for knowing that, for knowing the Atma, for Atmajnana, uttishtata, arise. And who does the Shruti call? Who does the Shruti address? He Jantavaha, O Jantus. The Shruti is addressing all Jivas, all Ajnanis. Arise. And the Jantus are described. Anadya Vidya Prasuptaha. Those who are in the sleep of ignorance. Anadya Vidya Prasuptaha. Anadi Avidya. Avidya is Anadi. It has no beginning. When did Avidya begin? You cannot say. It has no beginning. That is why don't ask the question, when did samsara start? It never started. And if it has never started, you cannot even ask why it started. Even the question why is possible if there is a beginning. If there is no beginning, why has no answer? It is Anadi. Avidya is Anadi. And we have been sleeping in the Anadi Avidya from beginningless time. We have been Ajnanis. It is not that we had jnana and then we became ajnanis. It is not so. Always we were ajnanis. Avidya is anadi. But avidya is not ananta. Avidya is anadi. Brahman is also anadi. Then what is the difference between avidya and Brahman? Brahman is anadi and ananta. But it is not so with avidya. Avidya is anadi santa. It has no beginning, but it can end. When jnana comes, it will go. Anadya vidya prasuptaha. Sleeping in the ignorance, in the ajnana, which is anadi. He jantavaha, O jantavaha, uttishtata. And Bhashyakara explains the abhipraya, the purport of the word uttishtata. Atmajnana abhimukha bhavata. Turn towards Atmajnana. Atmajnana abhimukha. One who faces Atmajnana. One who has turned towards Atmajnana. One who seeks Atmajnana. He is called Atmajnana Abhimukha. Turn towards Atmajnana. Turn towards Shreyaha. We have already seen Shreyascha Preyascha. There are two pursuits. Mostly, people turn towards Preyaha, the material pursuit. Very few people really turn towards Shreyaha. Some people think they have turned towards Shreya, but really it is not Shreya. They may speak the language of spirituality, but what they really want is not moksha. Even this is not this is possible. One may speak a language of spirituality, but what is he really seeking? Is he really seeking moksha, or he is seeking something else? Whatever lifestyle one leads, whatever lifestyle one follows, whatever language one speaks, he may use very spiritual language. Everything is God's, Bhagavan's wish. He will use a very spiritual jargon. But what is his pursuit? What he really wants? That is what determines whether he has really turned towards Atmajnana, whether he has really turned towards moksha or not. Therefore, one has to keep asking oneself, am I really seeking moksha? Am I really seeking Atmajnana or something else? Atmajnana bhimukha bhavata jagrata ajnana nidrayaha घोर रूपायाः सर्वानर्थ बीजभूतायाः क्षयं कुरुत जाग्रत. Wake up. And what is wake up? Wake up from what? Wake up from ajnana nidra, from the sleep of ignorance. Ajnana nidrayaha kshayam kuruta. Destroy the sleep of ignorance. Put an end to the sleep of ignorance. And what is the problem in the sleep of ignorance? Generally, if we sleep, there is no problem. Ignorance is bliss. Let me sleep happily. Why I have to wake up? It is sound sleep. There is sound also. Sound for others. Sleep for me, sound for others. What is the problem in sleep? Then Bhashyakara says, it is ghora rupayaha. The ajnana nidra is ghora. It is terrible in nature because this sleep creates lot of nightmares. The nightmare of samsara. Therefore, it is terrible. It is not a sound, happy sleep. And Bhashyakara explains Ghora Rupayaha, how it is terrible. Sarvanartha bija bhutayaha. It is the bija of all anartha, all disasters, all undesirable emotions, all undesirable experiences. It is the bija, it is the seed, the cause. Ajnana is the cause of samsara. Therefore, kshayam kuruta, put an end to the ajnana nidra. Katham prapya upagamya varan. In Kailasashram book, varan na prakrishtan is the reading. It should be varan prakrishtan. Double na is not needed. Varan, halanta, single na, and prakrishtan. Varan, prakrishtan, acharyan, tadvidaha, tadupadishtam, sarvantaram, atmanam, ahamasmiti, nibodhata, avagacchata. Katham, how should one put an end to ajnana nidra? What is the way to put an end to ajnana nidra? How to remove ignorance? Katham prapya. Prapya means upagamya, approaching. Varan. Vara means prakrishtan, the great ones. Who is the great one? Acharyan, the acharya, one who teaches. And to teach, he should know the Atma Tattva. Tadvidaha, tadvidaha acharyan, the acharya who knows the Brahman. He should be a Shrotriya as well as Brahmanishtaha. So Varan includes Shrotriya and Brahmanishta. He should have studied the Shastra and he should know the Sampradaya, how to interpret the Shastra and how to convey the vision of the Vedanta. He should know properly. He should be a Sampradayavit. And he should be a Brahmanistha also. One who has assimilated the Atmajnana up to a good extent. And he should not be different from what he teaches. Then he is a Brahmanistha. Tadvijnanartham sa gurumevabhigachet samitpani shrotriyam brahmanishtham. Tadvidaha acharyan upagamya, having approached, then after approaching the acharya, what one should do? It is also mentioned in the Shastra. Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya. Tadvidhi, understand the Atma Tattva with the pranipata. Pranipata means dirgha namaskaraha. Do namaskara to the Guru. And pariprashnena, asking questions, requesting for the teaching. And sevaya, do seva to the Guru. These are the behavior that one should have towards the Guru. And the behavior of the student is backed by certain attitude. There is attitude also. Proper attitude is also mentioned in the Shastra. Shraddhavan labhate jnanam tatparas sanyatendriyaha. He should have Shraddha, trust in the Acharya, and trust in the Shastra. What is Shraddha? Suppose someone on the street he says something, he makes a statement. A drunkard on the street, he makes a statement calling you, hey, I know Brahman, I will teach you Brahman. He is drunk. And he says, do you carefully listen to him, what he says? You don't even pay attention to what he says. And you don't try to understand what he says. He will keep speaking. You don't pay attention. Why? Because you don't have Shraddha in him. He is just blabbering. You know very well. But the same you, when you sit in the class, when the Swami is saying something, you are paying attention to every word. You are attentively trying to understand every word. Why? It is because of Shraddha. You know that this Swami is not a drunkard. He has some point to say. Therefore, let me try to understand what he says. You have the trust. And because of the trust, you open your mind. You keep your mind open. Let me understand what he says. And once in a while, when the Swami says something, it won't make sense to you. Sometimes it might contradict with your previous understandings. Yet, even when it contradicts with my previous understandings, I don't reject the words of the Swami, because I have the attitude of Shraddha. I know that the Swami might be correct, because his words are based on the Shastra and based on the Sampradaya. My previous understanding might be wrong. Therefore, let me try to understand what the Swami has to say, whether it is logical or not, whether it is valid or not. I try to find out. I may not swallow it without salt. I may not just believe what he says, but I am open to it. It is the openness. Let me try to understand. Whether it is really true. How it is logically tenable. Even if it sounds illogical, prima facie, I don't reject it. Instead, I say it must be true. I trust his words. But how it is logically tenable, I have to work on it. With this attitude, you do Shravana. Then only Shravana works. Otherwise, Shravana will not work. Otherwise, attending the class also will be like exposing to the drunkard outside on the street. There won't be much difference. There also you hear some words, and here also you hear some words. And you filter the Swami's words. Whatever I know myself, if it is not contradicting my previous understanding, I am ready to accept. If it is contradicting my previous understandings, I will reject the Swami's words. Then it is not Shravana. It is lack of Shraddha. And with this attitude, I am wasting my time. I will not give up my previous understandings. The understandings that I already have, all my false notions, I am not ready to give it up. But in addition to that, if the Swami has something to say, without disturbing my previous conclusions, then I will accept this Swami. This attitude is lack of Shraddha. In Vedanta, we have to change our previous understandings, because there is a lot of misconceptions caused by ajnana. If I am not ready to give up my misconceptions, I cannot own up the knowledge. I am not giving room to the knowledge in my head. And it is not possible if I don't have Shraddha, if I don't have trust in the words of the Acharya and in the words of the Shastra. Therefore, Shraddha, Shraddhavan labhate jnanam, the attitude is mentioned. And bhakti, the attitude of devotion. Yasya deve para bhaktihi yatha deve tatha gurau tasyaite kathita hyarthaha prakashante mahatmanaha. Shvetashvataropanishad. One who has great devotion to the Devata, to Ishvara, and he has the same amount of devotion to the Guru also, then the words of the Shastra open up, unfold themselves to such a mumukshu, such a jijnasu. Therefore, bhakti, shraddha, bhakti. Then tatparaha, he should be committed to the Atma Jnana, committed to the pursuit. And sanyatendriyaha, he should have mastery over the senses. So all these are mentioned in the Shastra. How to approach the Guru, what should be one's attitude, and how he has to express his attitude. So there is attitude also, and the behavior that corresponds to the attitude. How he behaves with this Guru. Then, with all that, he does a Shravana. He exposes himself to the Upadesha. Then, Tadupadishtam, Gurupadishtam, taught by the Guru. And what does the Guru teach? Sarvantaram Atmanam, the Atma which is Sarvantaraha, Atma which is present in and through everything, all pervasive. Sarvantaram Atmanam. And being Sarvantara, it is free from all limitations. Aham asmiti vidya nibodhata. Understand the Atma as Aham asmi. I am the Atma. Iti nibodhata. Nibodhata means avagacchata. Please understand. All these are vidhilinga lakara, uttisthata, jagrata, prapyavaran nibodhata. Vidhilinga lakara, madhyama purusha, bahuvachanam. Sorry, not vidhiling, it is lot lakara. Lot lakara, madhyama purusha, bahuvachanam. Uttishtha, uttishtatam, uttishtata, lot lakara. Nahi upekshitavyam iti श्रुतिरनुकंपया आह मातृवत् अतिसूक्ष्म बुद्धि विषयत्वात् ज्ञेयस्य नहि उपेक्षितव्यम. One should not ignore, one should not be indifferent to the pursuit of Atma Jnana. Most often we ignore the Atma Jnana. Even if we start seeking Atma Jnana, it does not become our priority for most of the people. Something else takes on as the priority. Then the Atma Jnana is ignored. And it can happen to anyone. I am not talking about the person leading a normal life in the world. Even after coming to the ashrama, Even after taking sannyasa, it is possible. Something else becomes priority. Atmajnana takes back seat. Keeping this possibility in mind, the Shruti is making this statement. Jagrata prapyavaran nibodhata nahi upekshitavyam. One should not ignore the pursuit of Atmajnana. Instead, one should make constant effort until one really assimilates the jnana. Nahi upekshitavyam iti shrutihi anukampaya aha. With the intention, with this intention, Shruti is addressing the people anukampaya, with the great compassion. The Shruti is telling us, because the Shruti does not have anything to gain, whether you get Atmajnana or not. Shruti does not have anything to gain, or the Acharya does not have anything to gain by giving Atmajnana to the students. Then who is going to be the one who gains? It is the Jijnasu himself, the Mumukshu himself. Therefore, Anukampaya. What motivates the Shruti to say this is only Anukampa, compassion, and not any selfish motive. Therefore, Shankaracharya says, Shruti is the greatest well-wisher of mankind. Therefore, Shankaracharya compares the Shruti to mother, Matravat, like mother. One of the greatest well-wishers. In fact, the greatest well-wisher is mother. Shruti is addressing the people like mother. Don't ignore the pursuit of Atmajnana. Instead, make effort for Atmajnana. Do not postpone it. Do not think something else can be my priority. And how the Atmajnana can get ignored easily. Why it needs great effort? Bhashyakara says, Ati sukshma buddhi vishayatva jneyasya. The jneya, the Atma Tattva, which is the subject matter of Atmajnana, it is Ati Sukshma, very subtle. Ati Sukshma Buddhi Vishayatva Jneyasya. The Jneya, the subject matter of Atmajnana, what should be understood, the Atma is called Jneya. It is Atisukshma Buddhi Vishaya. It is the Vishaya, the subject matter of a very subtle understanding. Atisukshma Buddhi. Meaning, that the Atma is very subtle. Therefore, to understand the subtle, one has to make special effort. Most often we get carried away by the gross. To understand the subtle, one should make a special effort. It is easy to understand the gross. It is easy to get carried away by the gross. Therefore, make special effort. Make it your priority. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.